What's up, guys? Skeleton with Under Pressure Power Washing. Let's do a recap. So we did the big college project. We're working on it. Posted some videos on it. Posted some pictures, and I've had a lot of guys reaching out to me saying like, "Wow, that's incredible. You're killing it." But I want to make sure that I'm not giving you guys just the highlight reel. So here's the recap. This project wore me out. It about whooped me. So, when you get these big commercial contracts, they're big, they're gonna take a lot of time, they're net 30. So, even after you get done, you're gonna have some downtime between getting finished and getting paid. So I knew that ahead of time. And I went ahead and I started planning for that. I partnered with another company to make sure that, it wasn't just me going out trying to tackle 300,000 square feet of building and flat work. There's just no way I was going to be able to get it done and still be considered reputable. I mean, I would have gotten it done, but they probably never would have called me again. So I took that step. I reached out to another company here locally, got them to go out there with me, and that went great. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I couldn't have picked a better person to go out there and do the job with me. The dude just does great work. So I mean, just upstanding guy. But the only downside with it is that he still has a full-time job. So with it kind of being like a last-minute thing, we just got asked to put a quote in on it, and then I partnered up with him. Had he known ahead of time, he could have requested time off, which is what we're planning on for the future when we do get called to go do it again. But had he had the time off, we could have had the whole thing done in like a week and a half, probably tops. Mind you, I had a plan for about 2 weeks, so I kind of knew 2 weeks, with us getting out there, kind of doing it a little bit in the mornings, a little bit in the evenings, and trying to work around our schedules, and then hopefully anything that we had coming in residential-wise. Problem was, nothing was coming in residential-wise. It's our slow season right now, so I figured there would be a little bit of that where it would start slowing down, which I figured this was good. This was prime time for it. And what I would do is I would kind of float, not getting paid for this big commercial job with some of the smaller residential jobs. Plus, I had a nice little buffer there to allow at least 2, maybe 3 weeks worth of time. Well, I dumped a lot of money into this, getting ready for it. And I got the gas roof pump and got the metering system and everything for it. And I just spent a lot of money up front trying to get prepared for this job to make sure that we could handle it. So that kind of made our finances a little bit tight, but we were still good. We still had about 2 weeks worth of income sitting there, in a account for us in case anything happened. Now the plan was to do a little bit of residential stuff and do the commercials, and then work on the college as well. That way we'd have money coming in and stuff. But then once we really kind of started getting into it, we realized that like it's going to take more time than anticipated, especially because the co-company I had working with me wasn't going to be able to dedicate near as much time as we were hoping for. There were a few days where he got asked to stay and work longer, so quite a few days where I was out there just kind of tackling it by myself. So that kind of hurt us a little bit, but we were still on track to finish in 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks is going by, and then we're coming up on that 2 week mark, and then right here in the middle of it, we've got 2 tropical storms hit. So we lost about 2 to 3 days of cleaning just because of that tropical storm. I mean, not huge. We still went out there and did flat work. I mean, I got a video of us cleaning one of those parking lots during Tropical Storm Elsa. So I mean, we're out there just getting drenched, and we're still cleaning because it's kind of make or break time. So we started fighting through that, dealt with that, and then there were 1 or 2 days that were orientation. So they flat out told us, they're like, hey, it's a no-go, you can't come out today. We lost more time there. So we're just desperately like trying to get this done, and it finally starts getting to the point where it's like I say me, because I'm floating this job for us. I'm basically tapped. Like, I'm out of money, I'm out of bleach, I'm out of resources, I'm out of everything, you name it, you know, anything that we could possibly need to finish this job, I'm pretty much out, you know. And it got to the point where, you know, all of a sudden we're rolling into the third week trying to get this done, and it's like you can see that proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. Like, we're almost there. We get down, like, we finish the campus here, we get downtown, or we get down to Kingsland and start working on that one, and those archways were just a nightmare, because I bid this job, this part of the job, you know, sight unseen. I hadn't seen it, so I didn't realize how bad those archways were, how riddled they were with just like spider eggs. That was the absolute worst part, was all those spider eggs on those archways, because those archways were like 30 plus feet up. We didn't have time to get a lift, so we didn't have time to get a lift. We're out of money to get a lift. You know, we're trying to spray this from, you know, 10-foot A-frame ladders and like 8-foot extension lances, and, you know, 2-story shooter tips, and just spraying and hoping for the best. So, I mean, we probably spent the better half of the day just sitting on a ladder, hitting these arches, trying to get this clean. And when it came down to it, like, that last week was really kind of me spending a lot. Like, I was there 6:30 in the morning to 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 at night trying to get this thing done. And I finally, that last day, I had just enough money in our account to put money back into getting gas in the pressure washer, but I didn't have enough gas in the truck that I was gonna be able to get back home. And it's a 45-minute drive, so I was pretty much determined that I was gonna sit in the parking lot and basically just sleep in the parking lot until I could get done the next morning. You know, I was gonna finish it the next morning and then try to just pray that somehow I was gonna get my butt home. So we went through I tried to get a loan from the bank, which the bank denied me any kind of loan. Wouldn't even start processing a loan because they needed 2 years worth of tax returns since I'm self-employed, which I've only been in business for a year and a half. So obviously I don't have 2 years worth of tax returns. So that was a no-go. I didn't really know how we were gonna make it through the end of this job. The guy that I was working with, he ended up having this big house wash that he needed help on. So luckily, you know, he went ahead and, you know, like, kind of knew I was struggling, called me to go help him out on that one, and got me a little bit of money, floated me for a little bit. But, you know, still at the end of the job, I was tapped, like I was just completely broke. And then, you know, that little child tax credit went in. You know, thank God for that. That was enough money that I could actually get gas in the truck, get home, and, you know, we were gonna be comfortable for about a day. And then, let's see, on top of that, I got 1-star reviews. I made a video about those. The former company that was cleaning it all of a sudden just started bashing me on Google, leaving me 1-star reviews. So, you know, I made it home that last day. I was supposed to go back the next morning. We only had about an hour and a half worth of work to do. I called my buddy and I was like, hey man, can you just go knock this out? I gotta go take care of some legal stuff. So I spent the last day dealing with that. It was a nightmare. Like, it wore me out. And I just wanted to make sure that, like, I'm making this video to be just as, you know, apparent and, you know, open with you guys as possible. Like, it flat wore me out. It tapped me out. You know, I was like on the verge of having a panic attack because I was stressing out about everything. And, you know, I just had to put in my little motivational speakers and start listening to them and just say, you know, hey, shut up, stop being a little bitch, get back to work. Sorry for the language. But that's what I had to tell myself, you know, hey, stop sitting here moping about it. You know, you got a job to do, you need to finish it up. This is what you chose to do. Because I chose to take that risk. You know, I chose to cut back on my marketing and the stuff that I was doing with that because I knew I had to get this job done. So I made the decision to go ahead and do that. And I'm glad that I did, you know, because it was something that I had to fight through. You know, and I was really kind of struggling with it. I was having a hard time with it, but, you know, I fought through it and we made it through and we got it done. But it was not easy peasy. Nothing about this job really turned out to be easy. You know, it was a lot to take on. Now, you guys are probably sitting here listening to this going, yeah, you know, you're an idiot for trying to tackle something that big this early on. The thing is like, if you sit around and wait until you're ready, you're never gonna be successful, because you can't sit there and just wait for things to be perfect. If I waited for things to be perfect, I never would have started this business. I started this business out of desperation. I started this business because I knew it was going to be hard, but I needed it. So, for me to sit there and think that, I should wait until I've got a 5-man crew and all this stuff before I ever start tackling this stuff, it's not. There's nothing about that will make you grow. You don't grow when you're comfortable. You grow when you're pressed, and you grow when you're put under pressure. That's when you start to grow, because that's when you start to realize what it takes and what you have in you to either make or break. So you really got to be, a fighter, and you really got to be willing to get out there and push and make it. So sharing this part with you guys, I felt like was really critical, because I don't want you guys to see that and think that, oh wow, he makes it look so easy. I don't want you guys to think that it was easy. It wore me slap out. And be prepared for it. I thought I was prepared for it financially. That was the biggest thing, is I thought I was prepared for it financially. And there were just certain things that were outside of my control that, I wasn't planning on 2 tropical storms coming through. I wasn't planning on orientation and stuff like that, setting us back. We were close. It was, for what I predicted it would take, had we had that time given back to us, it would have been a lot better. But, I wanted to make that video though, because I felt like it was really important for you guys to see that. Because the thing is like I said, don't just sit around and wait for the timing to be perfect. Sometimes you just got to get out there and you just got to fight it. You'll learn on the job. You'll get your experience. You'll take your lumps. That is what I've done this whole entire time, is I've gotten out there and I've just tried to tackle stuff, and I've just taken my lumps and learned from it. I've never done anything that would actually cause like any serious damage, or might hurt my reputation or anything. But I've never backed down from anything. Every time I get a chance to bid something, I basically bid it and figure it out on the way. You figure it out on the fly, and it's okay to cry while you're cleaning. You're already soaking wet. Nobody's gonna notice. If you get out there and you realize that maybe you bit off more than you could chew, take your lumps, take your beating. Go ahead and get it done though, and just be better for it, and be better prepared. Learn from it and be better prepared next time you go back. So that's the recap. That's the truth behind this college deal. I get to do it again in 6 months though, so being mindful of that. I know that I can take money from this job and go ahead and set it aside. I can take money from the next jobs over the next 6 months, set it aside, be better prepared for it. Go ahead and plan ahead for that lift. I really didn't think we were going to need a lift. We did the whole entire campus here and didn't need a lift. It's like, really, that was the only thing we would have needed a lift for. And had I actually gotten a chance to get down there before the bids were submitted, but again, it was rushed. Like I wanted to go ahead and get that bid in because they were ready to do it then, because you only had a small time frame for when they had to get it completed. But just knowing better now, the next time it comes around, be so much quicker, because we can plan for it. And again, having that company that partner up with me, know ahead of time, he can request time off, and we'll knock it out, and we can have, even if we don't get it done in a week, having him there for a week full time will make the whole entire thing go so much faster. So anyways, that's the recap. Hopefully you guys kind of get some better insight on it. Don't judge me too hard. Again, it's you learn. So get out there, take your lumps. Never wait for it to be the perfect timing. Try to be prepared as you can, but just know that sometimes you're just gonna have to fight through it. So that's it. See you guys.